right, so this one is called The Problem with Having a Potty Mouth. So what could the possible issue be with that? For me, it's that using foul language, when you do it too much, it loses the meaning of the word. So like say the F word, if it becomes every other word or like, multiple times in a sentence, I mean, that's weak if you're using the same word over and over and over again, just for starters. But also like, if you use it so much, it loses its meaning. It loses its emphasis because like it's an intensifier. And back in the day, I do believe that the word was like veritable. They would say it's like, oh, it's the veritable this or that or the yeah. I can't think of exactly how to use it, but like anyway. So it's like if you use this word, it's kind of like an exclamation mark. And so even if you're speaking in a tone like I'm talking right now, it's loud. You're using a word that is used to intensify incorrectly, just because your speech has essentially degraded into, they say, no, I'm not even going to say, some people would say it's like trucker talk, but I don't want to talk, it's like a blanket statement. I don't know any truckers. So I wouldn't make that statement, but, very, yeah, that kind of language. And then like so if you don't like it, but then if you use those words around other people, then they start talking like that, and it can very quickly get out of hand. And using that kind of language, it's certainly not acceptable around children, because if you say something or if you do something and then you tell them that they can't do the exact same thing that you're doing, that's kind of hypocritical. Of course, there are things that adults do that children are not allowed to do, but still. So I guess something that I'll bring into this right now, it's a little something that I call the grandmother principle. So I personally am not a big fan of swearing, although I do swear. I made the decision that I will swear on my YouTube videos, but only when it is the only word that is like perfect for what I'm trying to say. Sometimes it doesn't make sense to substitute a word with something else. It's like, I got this idea, it's like, say your mother, depending on, say like a mother, maybe she doesn't swear, but when she does, it means business. This is like, because you're aware that this person does not walk around shouting out profanities like it ain't nothing. And so when they say a word that they don't want to use, but they require because they're trying to communicate something in a way that is not going to be missed. So like, that's the thing. And so like, that's the beauty of a swear word, is like you can use it at the right time. But some people, it's just like every other word, and it's just this and that. And it's like, man, I don't like hearing that kind of stuff. And so this is what brings into play a little something that I call the grandmother principle. So it's like your grandma. She doesn't want to hear that kind of language. You don't use that, you don't go to maybe your grandma, but like, not my grandma, rest her soul, but you don't go there and be like, and just run your mouth, because you understand that she's already heard all that. She doesn't want to hear it. That's not where she's at. She doesn't appreciate it. So you don't do it. And you have to respect your grandma. Same thing goes for like your boss at work. If you have one, you don't just do that. You don't talk like that every other word. But then some people, they will show the grandma respect and they will show the boss respect. But then for some reason, they will speak like this to other people. So like I've had this issue with some people in my life, and it's just like, hey, because it's a tricky one to tell somebody, hey man, do you have to swear so much? Like, I've seen you for like 30 seconds and you've said the F word like 15 times, you know, like, and it wasn't necessary ever. It's just like you didn't even mean anything by it. You're just saying it because you essentially can't articulate speech in a better way. And it's like, but it's tough to, you know, oh, you can't tell me what to say, you can't tell me what to do. So you have to, like, that's why I've like gone through this process to put it into words to explain so that you can say, hey, you know what? I don't appreciate this. And I know that you are able to not speak this way in front of your boss, in front of your mother, and in front of your grandmother. So if you have any respect for me, please respect my wishes when I tell you that I don't appreciate you yelling in my face using intensifier words constantly. I don't enjoy it at all. And you know what's even worse is if you just start doing it to kind of like to fit in, and then it's just like all of a sudden you've not soiled or dirtied yourself, but like kind of lowered your own standard, and it's just it's so easy to get caught up in. But if you don't like it, it's just as easy to say something about and to hope that the person that you're talking to is receptive. And you know, I think it just gets out of hand, and most people don't realize it. And like that's the thing, is to not let it get out of hand. It's not like you can't do it, but like be conscious of how you're doing it. And because like, you know, that kind of talk, using those kind of words, foul language, you know, potty mouth, bathroom humor, it can very quickly spiral into something, you know, where, you know, you're all of a sudden you're saying this and saying that and making fun of this and making fun of that and then making fun of each other. And it's like, how is this healthy? You know, how is this how we communicate? How is this a relationship? Is this, you know, and talking about people and making judgments and things like that? I tell you, what I do is when I run into this, I simply explain where I'm at. I don't impose. I say, you know, you do whatever you want, but if you continue to disregard my preferences, I'm going to have to create distance between us until the point where I'm just going to disappear, and you're going to be like, whoa, what happened to that guy? And it's like, well, because you kind of disrespected me and you were inconsiderate and you didn't take me into account. Yeah, so super important. Respect your grandma, respect your boss, respect yourself, respect others. You know, and it's not about can't. It's about conscious, just being aware of what you're doing and the impact that it has on others. And like, yeah, there's a lot of words in the English language, or any language. You don't need to use the same one over and over and over and over again. So, you know, I personally won't use a big word within like a discourse. I space them out. Because there's too many words and they're too good. There's no reason to go back to the same word over and over and over. And you will rarely hear me swear unless I am upset. So, yeah. Yeah, that's the problem with having a potty mouth.